So let's go to your inner circle, because that's something kind of plays on this, the logos, the artifacts you gift, but you've shifted not only to the peer relationship in your gifting and how you connect and build relationships, but it's also not just like, if you were going to, when, let's use Michael Jordan, for example, because I know he's still living and he would be very tough to connect with. Not only do you look at it of connecting with the individual, but also who is their core inner circle. And that's a lot of your playbook too. And so can you share some of that playbook? Because you did that with my family. You gifted my dad and brother. I don't know if you even remember this. They were we were going to Sweden, and you gifted everybody that was going these very nice leather passports. Yeah, covers. So you not only loved on Brad, you loved on my dad, my brother, you sent Sarah some stuff. So let's talk about that concept, because that's even, you want to get to Brad, send Sarah something, not Brad something, or send, my kids something. And I've just seen you use that quite a bit in how you connect and build deep relationships.
Yeah. Well, I think that whether it's your employees, whether it's your clients, centers of influence, people are well, who's the decision maker? Who do I need to influence? And what they don't understand is that the head of the household, or in wealth management, is a lot of middle-aged married white dudes selling to middle-aged married white dudes. And those guys, the advisors that are making 7 figures and the clients that are making 7 to 10 figures, they have everything that they want. If they want something, they can go buy it. A tool, cigars, golf. And since everybody knows what their hobbies are, people are like, well, I love golf, or this guy loves golf, I'm going to do golf stuff. I'm like, you're dumb. He's got 5 pairs of shoes in the closet because he goes to charity golf events all the time. He gets them for free. You're going to give him a nice bag? Well, he's already got 4 of those. Oh, he's into bourbon. Oh, great. You're going to send him a $100 bottle of bourbon, and he has a cellar full of Pappy. And so people are like, John, I got to spend a lot of money to get this person's attention. Let's take the rules and regulations off the table just for a second. Because if you do experiences, you can take somebody to the Super Bowl. You can weave in your artifacts into a part of the experience. So that's part of the overall thing. And so there are ways, if you want to be, it's amazing how many times people are like, John, I got these rules and regulations. And then I handle that objection. Here's how you can do it legally. Here's how you do that. And they're like, maybe I'm just cheap. Because they're because it's not unusual to drop 10 grand on a Super Bowl ticket, but to drop 10 grand on a relationship with a physical artifact feels weird and uncomfortable. And most guys suck at gifting their wife, let alone all of their clients and centers of influence. It's just an uncomfortable place to be. They don't want to look weird or uncomfortable or out of place or waste their money or just be silly. So to me, if I want to get a guy's attention or a decision maker's attention, and this goes for employees, men or female, they get stuff all the time. And so what I realized is that most of the people around the people get the worst side of that person's attention. It's hey, we're going to go play Pebble Beach or go to the Masters. Guess who's at home? The spouse. Guess who's at home? The kids. So there's this jealousy in almost every business where the employee, the client, the partner, whatever it is, gets treated like gold, and their treatment of gold is actually a negative effect for the inner circle, for the assistants that have to juggle the schedule and all the stuff, for the kids, for the pets. So my original mentor, Paul, was just genius at this. And it's just who he was. He treated the receptionist like gold. He treated this spouse, he knew the spouse's name. And in financial services, what happens when most people die? The guy dies first, statistically, many years before. How many widows stick with that financial advisor? What, 10%? 20% maybe? It's a small number. Why? Because there's no relationship there. It was with the person. And so before they die, and not just as a manipulation, I've realized that person is half the equation, if not more. If I want a vacation with you, my wife better like you. If I want to do business with you, my wife better like you. And so the reason so many things that we do are home focused, are hospitality focused, are kitchen focused, is because most people have a significant other and they're not included. And if I can start to honor them and say, hey, this isn't about, the person who's making the money or the decisions, this is about you collectively. And I want to honor your relationships, and I want to make you look good to your people, around the people. And so there's where you could spend way less money and have 1,000 times more impact, because if I get the people around the people feeling loved for our clients, then they become the internal advocate and salesperson that says, hey, we need to work with them. And I had it happen with John Bowen. I met him at a mastermind. It was like 10, 20 grand or whatever it was. And his response after spending an hour with me was like, this is cute, but this will never work with these 7-figure financial guys. I started to send him little mini heart bombs, knives and leather goods, whatever else. His wife, Jan, started asking him before bedtime, like, hey, have you done anything with John Ruhlin? He was like, dude, I feel like I'm sleeping with your sales rep. Like, my wife's never met you. I've been in business 35 years and she's talking about you before dinner, before lunch. She's brought your name up 6 times in the last 6 weeks. And so we did we did a program with him just to test it out. He fought me he didn't want to follow the recipe at all, but we did. These are all 7-figure guys. The referrals went up 107% over anything he's ever done. And it wasn't because the people couldn't afford the thing. It was because we honored the spouses. We knew, we made him track down all of the names. We, all of the little details communicated that, wow, this felt subconsciously different. And when you can honor that inner circle, those 4 buckets, spouses or significant others, team, pets and kids, that's where 80 to 90%, when people hire us to do a relationship plan, I don't care that somebody likes golf or hunting or whatever else. That's cool. Maybe we touch on that occasionally. You want to get super deep and be really surgeon-like and effective with your dollars. You take care of that inner circle, not the hobbies and the interests of the decision maker.